16 people attend a demonstration as U.S. Supreme Court considers the legality of a domestic violence gun ban at U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. November 7, 2023. Sarah Silbiger obtains licensing rights. Washington. November 7. U.S. Supreme Court justices on Tuesday appeared inclined to uphold the legality of a federal law that makes it a crime for people subject to orders prohibiting domestic violence own guns. The conservative majority wants to further expand gun rights. The justices heard President Joe Biden's administration's appeal lower court's decision that struck down a law aimed at protecting victims of domestic violence as violation the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. The New Orleans-based Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals concluded that measure failed a stringent test set by the Supreme Court in a 2022 decision, requiring gun laws to be consistent with nation's historical tradition of firearm regulation. Second Amendment challenge. Some conservative justices with a 63 majority questioned the scope of ministration's argument that, under the Second Amendment, people who are not law-abiding and responsible could be barred from appearing in court owning a gun. But some of their questions signaled that they were open to aligning the law with the Second Amendment by applying a standard that would disarm people deemed dangerous, as opposed to simply those deemed irresponsible. Conservative Chief Justice John Roberts focused on the word responsible, arguing that the word was too broad. So if not putting recycling curbside on Thursdays is a serious problem, that's irresponsible, Roberts said. Attorney General Elizabeth Prelogar, who is representing ministration, told Roberts that not responsible is the court's stated standard for restrictions on firearms in 3 major gun rights decisions over the past 15 years. And naturally, if you had access to firearms' historical tradition, Prelogar argued that the law follows the country's historical tradition of taking weapons from people who have committed crimes or whose access to weapons poses a danger. The case involves Zackey Rahimi, Texas man who pleaded guilty illegally possessing a gun while subject to restraining order for attacking his girlfriend in the parking lot and then threatening shoot her. In violation of that law, police found the guns while searching his home in connection with at least 5 advocacy groups have cited studies showing that the presence of a gun increases the likelihood that a domestic violence incident will be fatal. Prelogar also touched on this point. Guns and domestic violence are a deadly combination, Prelogar told the justices. As this court has often said, the only difference between battered woman and a dead woman is the presence of gun. Armed harassers also pose a grave danger. Police officers responding to domestic violence calls and the public at large. Zackey Rahimi's own conduct also, as it shows. AD.